Good morning, everybody. Marty here with the Diamond H. I come up to the cornfield this morning to check on anything. We got a good rain during some really strong storms yesterday afternoon and evening. Before that, the biggest rain we had was like 8 inches. And I don't mean 8 inches of rain, but the drops were 8 inches apart, and very few of them. But we finally got a good soaking rain yesterday, and I come up here to the field. I've already checked the rain gauge at my house and come up here to the field to check the rain gauge up here to see what we got up here. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. This was my grandmother's old place. It was recently torn down. The landscape is totally different looking around here. But I decided that's where I was going to put my rain gauge, right outside of that on a little mound of dirt. Now let's see what we got here this morning. Oh, that's nice. About 3/4 of an inch of rain. I got just shy of 1 inch up at the house, but I'll take every drop of that. Man, it's been dry. Drier than dry. Should have took a picture of that before I dumped that out, but I'll have to take a screenshot. Anyway, let me flip around here. There's the field with some delicious rain on it. I gotta wash my side by side. It hasn't been washed any this spring. This is a 2017 Polaris General, highly customized, keyword highly. While we're on that subject, check out my sound system. Old grandpas can jam too. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about this awesome corn that I have planted in this field. I'm standing at the edge of the beginning of the first 8 rows of corn, which is Hickory King white flour corn or cornmeal. The stalks are supposed to get anywhere from 12 to 13 feet tall. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to plant Hickory King, to see how tall I could get it. The next rows over that, I have the end markers. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see that on my little bitty tiny monitor, but there's an orange flag at the end of each variety of corn. And on this end over here next to the highway, I have each one of them labeled with the corn type. So number one, I don't forget, and number two, nobody else will guess. That's kind of strange, I guess, but anyway, I did it. Anyway, the first 8 rows here are Hickory King white, and the next row, 8 rows past that, is Bloody Butcher. Bloody Butcher stalks get about 11 to 13 feet tall, and a lot of moonshiners use Bloody Butcher it has a really robust flavor, I am told. I'm not planning on making moonshine, but that's one of the things I heard about Bloody Butcher. But the taste for cornmeal and corn flour is supposed to be really, really deep, rich flavored. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully we'll find out. And the next 11 rows past the Bloody Butcher is Indian flour corn, which commonly called Indian corn, which is highly decorative, and that's what I plan on doing, is selling every one of the stalks and the corn cobs in the shuck as decoration. My wife is a decorator as a hobbyist, and there's a lot of people that use Indian corn stalks and corn husk and corn cobs as decoration. So hopefully I can recover the seed cost and selling the decoration. And on the next 7 rows past the Indian corn is another 7 rows of Hickory King white. I had some extra seed. I really wanted to go 8, 8, and 8, and 8. I had another variety I wanted to plant, but I didn't plant it in this field. We have some more planting to do, and in the future. So don't shed a tear about that, because we're going to plant a lot more corn. I'm going to take a walk down here on the end rows, show you how crooked my rows are. I'm just kidding. They're not that crooked. They started out straight, and for some reason, I don't know if I was paying attention to the planter too much or whatever, but they got a slight bow in them as we go that way. But if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me, and everybody's happy. That's the first 8 rows of Hickory King white, and that's where they end right there. If the flag is showing up in there, I don't know. Then we have Bloody Butcher. This was planted last Monday, so 6 days ago is when this corn hit the ground. Woo! That looked like a drunk man planted that row right there. I guarantee you I know what happened there. Not that it matters, but I was trying to make sure that that drive chain was turning on that planter, and that is the result you get. So since this is on the Bloody Butcher row, we're going to call that the drunk aisle. It won't be hard to miss, because this next one right next to it is straight as an arrow. And then somebody partook in the moonshine on that one, and we get back straight again. I'm just being silly. They don't pay me no mind. Anyway, that was the end of the Bloody Butcher, and this is all Indian corn here. And I think I have a bug in my hat or something. Something's touching my hat. Hope it's not a spider, but I can't drop what I'm doing to check right now. So if I scream bloody murder and not Bloody Butcher, you know what happened. That's the end of the Indian corn, somewhere down there. And then the rest is Hickory King, 7 more rows of that. And I still had seeds left over. I had 2 pounds of Hickory King white, which them seeds were humongous, and a pound of Bloody Butcher, and a pound of Indian corn, and 2 pounds of yellow dent. I gotta check my hat, hang on. Yep. Sure enough, I had one of them flying buzzards in there. I call them micro buzzards. Sorry, rascals. They make you run away from yourself, especially when you get trapped in your hat. Okay, I sure am glad that this field got some rain on it. I'm very happy about that. What I'm not happy about is we have some more severe weather coming in this evening, anywhere from 3 p.m. to midnight. Y'all pray for us and give us some reinforcement in the protection. We certainly don't need any more severe weather. We had our share of it last night. One of the reasons I'm hurrying up this video is I gathered up some chainsaws. The John Deere, the 5103, is at my son's house about 22 miles from here. And the other side-by-side, which is a Ranger Polaris, a tree landed on both of them behind his house where they're parked. It doesn't appear to be any major damage, but the roof, the canopy on the John Deere is a little gobby-wobbled. And so I'm taking a couple of saws up there to see about that mess. And hopefully we don't have any, hopefully it's just cosmetic damage, you know, a dent here or there, paint knocked off, that's okay, you know. But a steering wheel knocked off or a loader joystick sheared off, that's not going to be good. We can always readjust that canopy if it's just bent on the mount. Some of them are made to break away like that. But anyway, enjoy your day, and thanks for riding up here to check the field with me, and we'll check you later. Take care. Hey everybody, I'm back with you again. This time I'm at my son's house. Earlier I mentioned that a tree limb fell on the John Deere 5103 and the Polaris Ranger. And we're fixing to get started cutting this mess up. Hopefully there's not any major damage or anything. Really won't know that we cut it off of there, but I'm gonna go ahead and record this cleanup effort and then I'll be back with you. Thanks.
Well, I was gonna put it all in the bucket.
Huh?
I was gonna put it in the bucket and put it over.
Well, we need to see what's going on here first.
Yeah.
Got the boot. That ain't no big thing. A little clamp is gone. Don't appear to be
Strong, Daddy.
Yeah, boy.
any dents.
That's what it do. Oh,
That's still attached.
Oh, I see that.
Papa, look. Look at all them limbs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm carrying a big tree, y'all.
Well, as you can see, we got the tree off the John Deere 5103. Didn't see any damage at all, which is great news. And we'll finish cleaning all this up, crank the tractor and put it all in the bucket and carry it off to the burn pile. Anyway, I call that a success. Thanks for being here and thanks for watching, and take care.